faster splits is all about getting away with doing the minimum amount of effort possible.
Okay.
So that comes back into fundamentals and how we were controlling the gun. That's why I stress so much being passive and only using tension where you need it.
Right.
So if we start with our body position to absorb the recoil force in the direction that we want, and start with loose hands, right, we can kind of figure out how to position our body optimally. And then I can add tension. I start with my left arm because that's less important for manipulating the trigger, and it has better control because it's further out, right? So add the tension I need, and basically I want to be able to perfectly control the gun with just this, my body position, and then my left arm pulling the gun back in. I have somewhat of a firm grip, but not aggressively tugging into my chest ring, just firm enough that it's not bouncing around.
Yeah.
So my hand basically, it's just, you know, I grip with enough force so that I'm not slipping around in recoil, but that's pretty much all it is. I'm not death gripping the grip. When I do, that's when I start getting trigger freeze. So if this is my control, then this hand's job is just to hang on for the ride and manipulate the trigger. Think about your finger going back and forth, applying force, releasing force. That is kind of like a mini like lift, like a bicep curl or something. Okay. So imagine you had a 1 pound weight versus like a 30 pound weight. If I had told you to curl it as fast as you possibly could, pulling that 30 pounds up and letting it back down, pulling it up again, it's just impossible to do that fast versus that 1 pound weight, you're like back and forth like crazy, right? So same thing applies here. If I'm using too much effort, like going past the point of the trigger breaking, like say my trigger is a 3 pound trigger and I'm pulling with 5 pounds or 6 pounds or 7 pounds, that'd be like aggressively slapping when you're tense.
Right.
Okay, so it's gonna take those muscles longer time to release to let the trigger reset. So you're gonna lose time there. Versus if I just pull with 3.5 pounds, just enough to break it, and then immediately I have a good reaction time where I've felt the sensation that the gun's fired, and it's just like a tiny tap of pressure, not like a press and hold and release.
Okay.
So every trigger press should be like a tap, but we're not coming off ever. You're letting the trigger do that work with the reset spring. Okay. The first exercise that that I'll have people do to get used to the minimum effort that they can use is just a dry fire trigger press where we're not even worried about aiming. But with the safety off, what I'm gonna do is have my finger on the trigger, and what I call positive contact is like a tiny bit of force where I'm in contact with the trigger, but I'm not even close to pressing it. So maybe like a 1/4 pound of force just where my pad of my finger is touching it. Mm-hmm. And from here, I'm gonna ask you to apply force. And like you can see my finger applying force, right? Now it went off. So I'm doing a little bit, and going a little more until I find that point of breaking. So that means that I found essentially the minimum force to break the trigger. I don't want it to be like a fast, or sorry, like a constant increase in force until you find the point of breaking.
You want to just quick pulse
just
it.
Pulses, but it's not like a hard slap, right? And it's just a tiny adding the force, releasing force. It's like you're tapping a hot surface or something just to test it.
Okay.
But you need to find that point on your gun where you can do this. Okay, there's that point. Now I'm going to try to do 5 reps of just a quick tap and release. And you can see when I release, I'm still in positive contact. I'm not doing this, right? I'm not doing this, right? We never want to lose contact. Just come back to like a 1/4 pound positive contact. Okay. That's going to help speed up too, because if you're coming off, that's another delay.
You're finished. Unload. Show clear.
So now it'll be the exact same that we just did. So a beep, you shoot 1 shot. And I want you to pay attention, not so much like you're going to hit the popper, you're going to aim, even if you miss the popper, I don't really care. Okay. I want your brain to be on your trigger finger feeling. What you're trying to feel is during recoil, are we resetting? Or are you hearing that click happen like right after recoil? Or is there actually a significant delay where it's back in battery and then you get the click of reset? So we're just gonna test that here. Stand by. Stand by. Good, perfect. So I'm not seeing the reset happen after, like I can see it happening during recoil.
Okay.
So you're already.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, good. That's
yeah,
perfect.
That's what you want.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
And you're not losing contact with the trigger after it's reset.
Okay.
Okay. So what that tells me is that like that's not where any delay is happening in your split times.
Okay.
So now that we've eliminated those, now basically it's just a matter of the finger muscles,
the pulsing of it,
finding that 2.5 pounds or 3 pounds or whatever it's taking you to break that trigger, finding that and then going back below the reset point and then back on and back below the reset point 2 times in a row fast.
Okay.
It's kind of like double clicking a mouse. Like I've said that in other podcasts and stuff, but when you have a trigger that starts getting pretty light, that's kind of the sensation.
Okay.
So let yourself push the speed and see where it breaks down. And it's going to be hard because at the same time you're pushing the trigger speed, this is more of like your mental rhythm.
Okay.
So whatever energy level, say like, it's not exactly energy, but think of it like that. Whatever that is right now, just hype yourself up, maybe like 5–10%. So your brain's working faster, your finger's gonna work a little faster. Okay. Let's try 3 doubles on the center target. And you can pause in between each double. So instead of it sounding like a bill drill, it can sound like bop, 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 bop.
No, that's slow.
That was 3 13s in a row.
Oh, really?
Not slow.
It seemed like it was like way...
Yeah, it feels slow, right? Because now your brain's working a little faster. Dude, the difference between 14 and 13 is not that much. Like, don't overanalyze that. But what I want to bring in here is now, we'll do a 12 split metronome, which is 500 BPM. I just want you to listen to this for a second. It's gonna sound a lot faster because it doesn't stop.
Okay.
But keep in mind you're only doing 2 in a row.
That's pretty fucking fast.
Yeah, it sounds fast because it doesn't stop.
Right.
But take your finger and maybe just put it on your gun or on your other arm, and I want you to tap at this pace, just 2, not constantly. 1 2, 1 2, 1 2, 1 2, 1 2, 1 2, 1 2, and I'm gonna play it at 10 splits for you for a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, and I like this actually. So you're having to kind of loosen your hand and almost use your whole hand, like pulling in some arm muscles almost.
Just twitch the whole thing pretty much.
To kind of help get that weight on the trigger on and off that quickly. 12, 11, 13, 12.
Tensing.
Okay, take a break, like shake the hand out. I want you to try and do this array of 3 and just like accelerate as you go left to right. Basically what we're doing is using this set of targets to take your mind off of the hand. Okay. And just let yourself go at this speed. It could be a berm, you know? Yeah.
Fuck.
Wait. So you had 3 12s in a row. Okay, so here's 500 now. This is a 12 split. Easy,
it's
right?
So much slower than I've felt before. Jesus.
Yeah, so it's all in your head.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Damn.
So you're having no problem now at 11 and 12s. So you just take that home. Like if you make that your kind of normal, your new normal at this distance, like just full speed, then the 10s are going to come occasionally. And then, and just as you get faster, like finer control of exactly how much force you're using, then the 10s are going to start happening like
that felt good.
on demand.
Damn.
Yeah, awesome.